Right, so the left-hand swing is your pre-shot, and I'm asking you to basically feel like you're going to take a little divot, engage the ground with your fairway wood, hit the ground out in front of the ball just slightly. Yeah. The one on the right is the shot itself. I'm concentrated mainly on sort of P5 to P8. Yeah, so left arm parallel with the ground in the downswing, and then shaft parallel with the ground in the through swing. We're going to go through that sort of interval and have a little look at some differences. First thing you notice is that the wrist angles on the left are maintained a little bit longer. So you're trying to, on the left, you're trying to hit the ground in front of the ball. On the right, you're trying to hit a shot. Now, granted, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying that's what's being encouraged. Okay. So on the right, when you're hitting the shot, you're going to start to push up out the ground a little bit more because it's a fairway wood. You want to shallow out the angle of attack. You want to keep some loft on it, and you're also trying to generate some speed. So we'd expect to see the arc widening a little bit more. Yeah, but we definitely need little bits of what we're going to see on the left. So when we're trying to engage the ground, the wrist angles are maintained. The left arm's moving away from the right shoulder, and look how advanced the butt of the club is at P6, which is something we talked about with your irons earlier, isn't it? Now, on the right, when it comes to hitting the shot, in the real world, that compared to what you normally be, is pretty good. You're sort of encroaching onto that right thigh now. So the left arm is definitely moving away from the right shoulder. The right arm's straightening. Your wrist angles are being maintained. I mean, normally you would have shaft parallel with the ground at about that point. And then the only way you would get the shaft parallel there is by driving the hips forward, tilting the head back. That's how it would be created, wouldn't it? Wrists would come out a little bit more. So you're definitely improving in that sense, right? But you can see how the idea of just trying to engage the ground a little bit in front of the ball is encouraging you to keep the radius tighter at that point, accelerate what the left arm's doing. You almost get the sensation, I mean, the wrist angles that you talked about before is you pushing down on the butt of the club with the pad of the left hand. Yeah, so that relates to that angle in the wrist, so that's accumulator 2. And that's you pushing down on that pad, yeah? The right arm is visibly straightening more this way, isn't it? Yeah. Than sort of on this one, it's sort of keeping its bend and almost working out this way. So that's pressure point 1, which is pad of the right hand onto the left thumb. They're the two feels that you mentioned you got with your irons as well.
Obviously forgot to do it on the right.
Are you just doing it less? I mean, that is too much. You know, I'm asking you to hit the ground out in front of the ball. If you did that with a 5 wood, I mean, that would never get airborne. Yeah, so that's too much. But we need a little bit of that, don't we? We need to encourage a little bit of that. So as you're coming into impact now, when you're asked to hit the ground in front of the ball, the lead shoulder doesn't raise as quick, does it? The head doesn't tilt back quite as much. Yeah? The shaft lean you've got on this one on the right is fine. I haven't got a problem with it. I mean, it wasn't a bad shot. But when you hit your worst shot, this shoulder's gone up too fast. And this angle here has been lost completely. It starts to look like that.
I have to tell myself to sort of keep over the ball. And then you think, oh, I'm gonna, and then you go, if I keep over, I don't keep over the ball, but I don't go up as much.
So the act of trying to hit the ground in front of the ball is discouraging the left shoulder from getting too high too quick. It's encouraging the butt of the club to get a little bit more advanced at P6. And it's discouraging the club from overtaking the hands too fast. And they're all things that, you know, if you do those too much too soon with a fairway wood, you're going to make a mess of it. You're going to top it, or you're going to become, you know, you're going to hit the ground behind the ball, drop kick it down there somewhere. So you've got to time that better than you do with an iron. With an iron, ball's further back in your stance. You've more loft, so you can take loft off it. You tend to go into the ground a little bit more. That's why you strike your irons pretty consistently. But there are elements of that still creeping into your iron playing occasion. So everything we do going forward is just to encourage, in the real world, getting that butt of the club onto that right thigh at P6. which means the left arm, to do that at that point, the left arm would have to be more advanced, the right arm would be working this way more, driving sort of out diagonally in front of the golf ball a little bit more.
Yeah.
The feels that you mentioned, so you'd have a little bit of different pressure in your hands, right hand against left thumb, pad of the grip against, or pad of the hand against the grip, etc. Which is pretty much everything that you demonstrate here. But to the nth degree, that would be too much. You'd struggle to hit a fairway with it. So whilst it looks great and it looks different, it's actually too much the other way. So I don't necessarily want it there, but I definitely want elements of that in. Yeah, exactly. We want the guy on the right needs to keep doing what the guy on the left's doing. He needs an element of that. He needs like 10% of that, 20% of that, whatever. But he certainly doesn't need to widen the arc anymore, and he certainly doesn't need to hang on to the right and left arm anymore, and he certainly doesn't need to tilt the head back anymore. It's the opposite, isn't it? So you're working more, the feel is the one on the left, the actual shot is the one on the right,